All right, so I built something about a week ago to help me on the stairs whenever I'm doing painting projects or putting up accent walls. And I just want to show you guys the process of going through building like a staircase landing. So you can put a ladder on top of it, you can stand on it and get a little bit more reach on the stairs. I started my trek at Home Depot for this project, picking out some sheet goods as well as some 2x4s. You won't need much material. I think I spent a total of about $40 to $50 on materials. And so that's great. Most of the solutions out there aren't as stable as this, as well as I think they're quite expensive compared to what they can do. So that's why I actually built my own. I did have one prior to this. I built one, a smaller one, but it was nowhere near stable. I am 250 pounds. My buddy that works with me that also stands on this platform is around the same weight. So it has to hold some weight in terms of me climbing up 22 feet onto a ceiling and doing some work. I will add a disclaimer in here. Build and stand on your platform at your own risk. I didn't build your platform. You didn't build mines. But at the end of the day, I know mines will support at least maybe 300 to 400 pounds. Both me and my buddy stood on it, and there was no bows and there was no anything. But if you're going to use this platform, make sure it's safe. Make sure it's stable. Make sure you got all your measurements correct. So the first thing I had to do to get this project started was I had to put my platform on the stairs and get all my measurements down. I had to know the layout of where I needed to put each support leg so that when the platform goes on the stairs, it's at a level point. After I figured that out, I went ahead and started cutting down my main legs for the 2x4 platform. Once I got all my 2x4s cut down, I went ahead and started assembly. I used, I think, 3-inch screws for the leg assemblies. So there's 3-inch screws going through, and three screws, 3 inches going through each one of these posts. So it's pretty safe and secure. Now, this does not stop the left and right wobble screwing in posts like this. So you might want to add an X bracket to this just to secure it even more if you're gonna build this type of platform. Now, I did not put X brackets inside of my platform, and that's because I knew there was a left and right wobble going to happen. So in my case, to counteract that, I made sure my platform was all the way against the opposite side of the staircase whenever I had to climb up all the way. So my ladder might have been sitting in the middle of the platform, but I made sure my platform itself was all the way against the wall. So all the pressure, all the force of me standing on the ladder would push the platform into the wall more and create better support. So that's how I handle the left and right wobble. But still, I still had 45 degree brackets supporting the platform as well as those legs. So it reduced the wobble quite a bit more. So once I got the support legs assembled, I went ahead and drilled some countersink holes into the platform top. The platform top has, I think I did 4 on the left, 4 on the right, and then about maybe like 2 or 3 in the middle. I think eventually down the line, once I got to the client's house, and we were using it for a while, I ended up putting maybe 1 or 2 more screws in it, but I ended up using 2.5-inch screws to secure this to the top, as well as in the middle there's 1 3-inch screw. So I think this was pretty secure in terms of this platform sitting on the floor. One thing I will say about this platform is that it is very big. Once you have it like all put together, it takes up quite a bit of room. In terms of transporting it, it's pretty easy because you could break everything down and everything basically lays flat. It's probably no bigger than the 2x4s, as well as the platform top sitting next to side by side once you put it in like the car or your truck or something. So it doesn't take up a lot of space, but once you put it on the stairs, it takes up quite a bit of space. So that's something to think about too, especially if you have smaller width stairs. We was working on a smaller width stair the first time using this platform, and it was a hassle getting back and forth down the stairs trying to get around this thing. So that's another thing. So remember, this platform is 2x4, so it's 4 feet long, and then it's 2 feet wide. So just take that into consideration whenever you're kind of building your own platform for this purpose. I'm gonna go ahead and finish countersinking these screws, and then take it inside the house to do a nice little test fit. All right, so here's the first test fit right here. Sorry about the blurry video. I forgot to wipe down the lens. But so as I'm standing on this platform, I can kind of hear the creaks. Like I said, I'm 250 pounds. I'm standing on a platform. You can kind of see it bow in. It is still quite strong enough to hold my weight, but we just want that extra support. And so we're going to add support here in the middle. That's what I'm kind of measuring out now, figuring out where I need those support legs to be. I think I've made those support legs probably anywhere from 6 to 8 inches long, or 6 to 8 inches wide, and made sure they touch the bottom of the floor. Another thing to take into consideration is the height of your carpet. If you can do this on a flat floor, like a solid wood floor, it's perfect. So I couldn't do it because I only have carpet in my house from the stairs. So if you have a solid wood floor, that's probably your best bet. So I did my measurements and I made my cuts for the support legs that go in the center of the board, that go in the center of the platform. Once I get done putting this together, I'm going to go ahead and drill that on. Then I'm going to put my platform back, as you can see. And those support legs did exactly what they were supposed to do. They help support the middle of the board, so now that when I go to stand on it, there is no creaks, there is no squeaks. The middle of the platform is all secured, and it is really stable now. And this is what I meant by putting the platform up against the wall. So once pressure starts to go down on the platform, it pushes against the wall a little tighter. You can go ahead and put some type of like soft material on the side so it doesn't rub against the wall and leave marks. I didn't need to do that because my client's house was going to be painted. But if I have to go into a house where the client already had their house painted and I'm working on a wall and I need this, I'll probably put something off to the side so I don't mess it up. Or I'll just repaint the wall. It doesn't really matter. So just to give you guys a quick demonstration of how this thing works, the platform sits 4 stairs up. You sit the ladder right in the middle. You can add like safety brackets around the top edges of the platform as well if you wanted to, but I sit my ladder right on top of the platform, and I go ahead and start climbing up. It works out pretty well. I think this platform is going to be my new platform probably for the next couple months up until I need something else. So a few things to consider when you're building your platform also is you want to make sure the specific ladder that you have fits your platform. So make sure you take a measurement of the feet on your ladder before you actually make your platform. The feet on this ladder are just shy of like 2 feet wide. And this is what I use on basically all my projects. I go ahead and make sure I break this down, and I can still use this while it's in a folded position too. So this only works under certain applications. If you have unfinished stairs and you're going to be in a compromised position standing on this platform, like you have to stand on the edge for some reason, you could screw this thing right into the subfloor on the stairs. That's another good reason that I like this platform. It can be made a little bit more sturdier than what I've actually already made it. So like I said, build at your own risk, use at your own risk. This is what I use when I'm have to go climb 22 feet in the air. I think it's pretty stable. It supports me, which is 250 pounds, as well as some of the people that help me that are just about that weight. So if you have any more questions about materials I used or the measurements, just let me know in the comment section or send me a DM. I'll be happy to help and answer any questions that you may have about it. But this was the build for today. Turned out great. Probably going to use this thing for the rest of the year, and I think it's a better value than anything on the market right now.